Hey everybody, so last weekend, Ryan of Read by Ryan and I decided to celebrate Small Business Saturday by doing a book trip adventure. And we went to 4 bookstores, had some great food, ate a donut, and I am here to tell you about everything that I brought home with me. So let's get started. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you all doing today? As always, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're safe, and of course I hope you're reading an amazing book or 2 or 3 or 4. As you may noticed, we have been having some issues with video here on my channel. So I had got the new iPhone and I continued to do what I needed to do. I film all of my videos on my iPhone. We put it on the iMac and we put it into Adobe. And for some reason, when it went into Adobe, it was saturating me beyond all belief. And we were trying everything we could think of on the iPhone, on the iMac, in Adobe to try to get it done. Well, we're hoping we fix the problem. So today's video is hopefully better. You can see that we've been working really hard on it. It has taken some time, so that's why I haven't been around trying to figure out exactly what we needed to do to get the videos to not look so silly. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about books. So Small Business Saturday, one of my favorite days of the year, Ryan and I decided to drive up to Madeira, Corte Madera. I wanted to go to the bookstore Book Passage, and Ryan found an amazing brunch place where we had brunch, and then we went to 4 bookstores, 2 Copperfield books, one right where we had lunch, or brunch, and then we went to Book Passage, then we went to another Copperfield books, and then on our way home we took a little veer out to the East Bay and we hit East Bay Booksellers. And let me tell you, it was a fantastic day. We had a great time and I brought home so many books that I cannot wait to tell you about. So let's get started. Get out your pen, get out your paper, get out your Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. If you are so able, please order these books from your local independent bookstore. They need us more. I think Aro Kwan posted a tweet the other day where she mentioned that like 85% of business done by independent bookstores is done this time of year. So you know me, always trying to support them. If you're a library user though, get your library to get you a copy of these as well. Make sure that you are requesting them so they wind up in your library so other people can read them as well. And now I'm going to start with a book that I did not pick up Saturday, but right before that I had traveled for work and I had gone to a bookstore and I picked up a novel that I wanted to tell you about, and that's First Time for Everything by Henry Fry. I've actually read this one already. And I'll do a review in my next wrap-up video. But this is the story of a young gay man who, at the start, he goes to a clinic because he's having some health issues. And it's sort of that event brings about the fact that his whole life may not have been what he thought it is. He thought he was in a monogamous relationship, but is he really? He thought he was sort of living this life, getting through days, and he winds up getting evicted. And what winds up happening is he moves into this sort of gay artistic collective and he starts to reevaluate his life. Now, he has severe insecurity issues. His sense of self-worth is really troublesome in that he doesn't really know who he is. And the book sort of goes through that experience with him. And he learns about how you treat others, how you present yourself, and also just learns how to maybe love himself a little bit more. It's called First Time for Everything by Henry Fry, and I will definitely get you a review. This is out by Ballantine Books. I will get you a review in my next wrap-up. Okay, the next book actually Ryan recommended to me. We were in the first Copperfield books, and he had pointed out that A Minor Chorus, a novel by Billy Ray Belcourt. This is out by Norton here in the United States. I believe he said it was shortlisted for the Giller Prize, and then he told me that it was really good, and I thought, you know what, I'll just go ahead and pick it up. Ryan has never led me astray. So Minor Chorus is set in the expanse of northern Alberta in Canada, and it's about a queer Indigenous doctoral student who sort of steps away from his thesis in order to write a novel. And the novel sort of focuses around some encounters that he has. And that sort of and his narrator is really sort of reminiscent of himself and how these encounters sort of affected him. I like what it says here. It says, Jack, that's our main character's life parallels the narrator's own. The possibilities of escape and imprisonment are left to chance, with colonialism stacking the odds. A minor chorus introduces a dazzling new literary voice whose vision and fearlessness shine much needed light on the realities of Indigenous survival. So that's A Minor Chorus by Billy Ray Belcourt, out from Norton here in the US. And Ryan was talking about how much he loved this cover, and it is pretty darn fantastic. I think we've all been in this room, right? I love it. I love it so much. And I had been on the hunt. So then we went over to Book Passage, which I love, is in Corte Madera. If you ever get a chance, it's a big bookstore. And I have been on the hunt for any book, really, by the Nobel Prize winning laureate of 2022, Annie Ernaux. And I couldn't find any. I had gone to 6 bookstores, and I finally found one at Book Passage that I could pick up. And so I picked it up. I was like, I've been waiting to pick it up. And that's Getting Lost by Annie Ernaux, translated from the French by Alison L. Strayer. This is out by 7 Stories Press, which is a publisher I don't know anything about. And all of her books, I believe, have her on it, because I know that a lot of her books, her fiction, is like sort of this sort of fine line between memoir and fiction. Like, she sort of walks that nonfiction fiction line. And this book is about a relationship that she had with a Soviet international politician. I'm not exactly sure his title. I haven't started it very long. I'm only 22 pages into it. But basically, it's about how that love affair and sort of him going in and out of her life affects her. It's told in like a journal format. I'm really liking it. The translation is really, really good. It just has a very stark, introspective quality to it that I'm finding very, very powerful. So that's Getting Lost by Annie Ernaux, translated from the French by Alison L. Strayer. And again, this is out by 7 Stories Press here in the US. Okay, then the last book I bought 2 more actually at Book Passage. So Roxane Gay had talked about this book on Twitter, and she was like, it's twisted and crazy and page turning, and I was like, okay, well, I obviously have to get it. So I picked up Manhunt by Gretchen Felker-Martin. This is out from Nightfire here in the US. Nightfire is an imprint at Tor, I believe. Tor or Tor.com, I can't remember exactly. But so it's got this sort of like horror element to it. So this is the story of, there's Beth and Fran, who they are hunters. They travel this like sort of dystopian, ravaged New England coast, hunting men, feral men, for their body parts or their organs, really because they're trying to stop it from happening. So to them, they are sort of like not wanting it to happen to them. Our other main character, who is named Robbie, lives by his gun, and he sort of doesn't trust anyone. And some event occurs that brings them all together. And I love, it says, this newfound family of survivors must navigate murderous turfs, a sociopathic billionaire bunker brat, and awkward relationship dynamics, all while outrunning packs of feral men and their own demons. So that sounds fantastic, and it sounds like a page turner, and I trust Roxane Gay so much. So that's Gretchen Felker-Martin's Manhunt, and this is out from Nightfire. It's actually blurred by Carmen Maria Machado, who you know I absolutely love as well. So I'm super excited to get to that one. The next book I bought mainly on a whim. I had seen it around, but I had read earlier in that day that it won some literary prize. I don't remember which one. And I was like, clearly I need to pick it up. And that is Trespasses by Lewis Kennedy. This is out from Riverhead Books here in the US. And so this takes place during the Troubles in Northern Ireland. Our main character lives a very quiet life. I think her name is Kushla. They live in a very small town near Belfast. And life goes along. She teaches, I believe, at a parochial school. And then one day she meets a barrister. His name is Michael, and he is known for defending members of the IRA. And it says, Kusha lets herself get drawn in by him in a sophisticated world. An affair ignites. He's married. He's Protestant. He's defending the IRA. All of these problems with this relationship for her. Then the father of a student is savagely beaten, setting into motion a chain reaction that will threaten everything and everyone Kushla most wants to protect. So it sounds really good. It was really bought on a whim because I had read this article and it had won this award, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick it up. So I'm really excited for Trespasses by Lewis Kennedy out from Riverhead Books. Then we went over to East Bay Booksellers out in Oakland, California. If you are ever in Oakland, I love East Bay. Ryan had never been there before, and he was amazed. What I love about East Bay Booksellers is that it has all these books that you've never heard of. That is what is so fantastic about them. And they just have so much different stuff. And so you wind up walking out with things that you didn't even know you wanted, and you had never seen before. So it's super exciting. If you go there, Brad is the owner. He is fantastic. Highly recommend it. So I had gone in, I had planned to pick up this book at East Book Passage, but every copy was a little bit dinged up. And if I'm going to spend the money on a book, I want it to be really nice and I want it to look good on my shelf. So I wound up picking it up at East Bay Booksellers, and it is Bella Green by Alexandra Lapierre. This is translated from the French, hold on one second, by Tina Cover, who we all love. Tina Cover. Oh, I can totally see the cover. Irene. Oh my goodness, what is it? Okay, I'm totally blanking. You know how it is. Sometimes your brain doesn't work. But Tina Cover is a fantastic translator. So this takes place in the early 1900s in New York City. Bella Green gets a job as a librarian in the J.P. Morgan Personal Library, and sort of becomes the toast of the town as far as this intellectual. She's sort of this intellectual. People are always wanting her opinion and all that, but she has a secret. She's actually of mixed race, and she is passing, and her father is how do they explain it? A black activist, a well-known black activist who sees her desire to hide her origins as betrayal. So sort of torn between her personal freedom and what her family is fighting for. Bella's drama, which plays out in a violently racist America, is one that resonates forcibly and illuminating even today. So I believe this is based on a true person, Bella DaCosta Green. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. I just think that sounds really interesting. You know, I love anything set in a library. So Bella Green, a novel by Alexandra Lapierre, and this is translated from the French again by Tina Cover. Okay, and then I found they actually had a whole section of Annie Ernaux books, and I should have just started at East Bay Booksellers. But the one that I was most hunting for was the one that was shortlisted for the Man Booker a few years ago now, and that's The Years. This one is translated by, let's see who's translated this one for us. Allison L. Strayer, yet again. And again, this is from Seven Stories Press again. I don't know a lot about this book. I know it is very sort of that line between memoir again, what she does so well. But everyone I know who's read this book has talked so highly of it. So I'm really, really excited to read it. And I'm just going to let myself go in a little bit blind on this one. I think this is maybe this is like a younger picture of Annie. But I'm really excited to sort of dive in. I believe Bernie and Hunter have already read a number of her books and they rave. So The Years by Annie Ernaux, translated by Allison I keep forgetting her last name. Strayer. I wanted to say Statler. Out from Seven Stories Press. Last but not least, I can't not go into a day of buying books and not buying some sort of fantasy. You know how much I absolutely love that genre. It's sort of my go-to when I just want to dive into a world, escape what's going around. So I actually picked up Into the Riverlands by Nhi Vo. This is out from Tor.com. This is the third book in a trilogy of novellas that has been written. The first one was The Empress of Salt and Fortune, which I absolutely loved. When the Tiger Comes Down the Mountain, which is the second one, is very, very good. And this one is too. So this is all set in the same world. And I don't want to give it away because it's sort of, they all wind up connecting. But we have this character who is I want to say a historian. They're a monk, but they walk around the world capturing stories. And they have this bird-like creature that remembers everything. And then they write down these stories. And as they go through, like, each book is like about a different myth or legend, but you get to hear the real story behind it. And there's always like a turn at the end where you sort of figure out what is going on and how your sort of connection to Siri wants to interact with us right now. It is so good. All three of them are excellent. The covers are outstanding. I'm a huge, huge fan. I want to say, I really want, she lives in Lake Michigan, so I'm not going to run into her. I really wanted her to live in the city, San Francisco, so that I could just run into her and have her sign all my books. But if you are looking for just fun, great world building, amazing characters, and they're just so good. All three of these novellas are so much fun. And this is Into the Riverlands by Niveau, out from Tor.com. Okay, I think I did pretty good. What do y'all think? I think it's a pretty nice stack of books, all very different in a lot of ways. A lot of translated from French on there, but hey, that's what it is. A little thriller, a little horror, a little queer, just wanted to make sure I ran the gamut. I had a fantastic day. If you had celebrated Small Business Saturday or have bought any books recently from your local independent bookstore you think I need to know about, please put them in the comments down below. I am always searching for new books. And yeah, so hopefully this video looks better. Hopefully we have fixed the problem. As always, if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for coming. I could not do this without you. If you are new to my channel, I hope you stick around, subscribe, hit that little bell. Hopefully now that I figured out this problem, I can get some content up more often. It has been a problem, I'm telling you. But as always, I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Bye, everyone.